Hello dear children, so here Ruminder Kaur, your biology teacher, and we are going to start with our chapter number 3, Plant Kingdom. As we have already studied in chapter number 1, the living world, and chapter number 2, biological classification, we have talked about that Linnaeus has given the classification and divided the organisms into only two categories, that is plants and animals. But after him, R.H. Whitaker in 1969 categorized all the organisms into 5 kingdom classification and hereby excluded kingdom Monera, Protista and fungi from kingdom Plantae. So we are going to study about kingdom Plantae. Main objectives of this chapter is that first of all you will come to learn the different phylums of kingdom Plantae. Their mode of nutrition will remain same, that they all are autotrophic in nature and they use sunlight for synthesizing the food material. Secondly, that all the different kind of plant phylums, they reproduce separately. Some of them are reproducing by fragmentation, that is a one mode of vegetative propagation. Number second, some of them they can undergo through spore formation, some of them they can form gametes by sexual reproduction. So this will give you a clear idea that how different kind of plants they are useful to us and even how do they vary in their anatomy, morphology, classification and their characteristics. They may vary or they can be similar to one another. So, kingdom Plantae having 5 phylums in them, we can call them as divisions also. Number first division is algae. As you have studied this topic in class 9th, diversity in living organisms, algae, they can also be called as division Thallophyta. Number second, bryophytes or bryophyta. These are the amphibians of plant kingdom. Can either grow on land or inside the water. Number third is pteridophytes. Number 4, gymnosperms. And number 5, angiosperms, which we call them as flowering plants. So basic characteristics are, they all are eukaryotes. If we will revise the differences between prokaryotes and eukaryotes, prokaryotes are very simple organisms like bacteria. They have only single organelle called as ribosomes, which is not covered by any of the membrane. But eukaryotes, they have membrane bound organelles. Then all the kind of plants, they are composed of millions of cells. So we call them as multicellular plants. Number third, very important, all of the plants, they have the same kind of mode of nutrition, that they can prepare their own food with the help of photosynthesis. So without any delay, let's start with our chapter. So we have already talked about that how Linnaeus and Whitaker work vary from each other. And in this chapter, we are going to study in detail about all the divisions of kingdom Plantae. So all the bacteria, then protozoans and fungus, they are removed from kingdom Plantae by R.H. Whitaker because their mode of nutrition, their cell wall structure and even the type of cellular organization, they vary from plants. Even the cyanobacteria, which are blue-green algae. We call them as blue-green algae, but they are not put inside kingdom Plantae. Why so? Because some of cyanobacteria, they are heterotrophic in nature. They cannot synthesize their own food and they depend upon others. And some of them are chemosynthetic in nature. This we have studied in classification of kingdom Monera Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Now, let us look upon the aims of systematics. As in chapter number 1, we have talked about taxonomy. Taxonomy is just a process of classification of different kind of organism. What are the basic objectives behind it? First of all, we come to know that there are different kinds of plants and animals, means flora and fauna. Then it gives us a clear view of identification, nomenclature, and communication among different organisms. Suppose there are two different kinds of vegetables. One is cucumber and second is coriander. Both of them vary from each other. One is a kind of fruit and other are leaves which we usually intake. But here, if I give you an example of bitter gourd and bottle gourd, some of the characteristics, they are similar to each other. Both are climbers. So, evolutionary relationships, they matter a lot. Evolutionary relationships means how do they characterize and what are the similarities in the morphology. When I am using the term morphology, it means external characters. So, classification systems are very important. Earlier, Linnaeus has given and divided the different kind of organism based upon their habit, color, number of leaves, shapes of leaves, but that is not appropriate. We must look inside the plant also. When I say inside, it means anatomy. Anatomy means internal structure. How the vascular bundles such as xylem and phloem, they are organized. And even what is the mode of transportation of water and food. How the food is synthesized in the plants. So anatomy gives us a clear view of the internal parts. So Linnaeus' system of classification is termed as artificial because they have separated the closely related species. So this artificial system of classification has not given a proper weightage as well. They have equally given weightage to vegetative and sexual characteristics. That is not acceptable because vegetative characteristics are only stem, leaves, and other parts or branches of the plants. And sexual characteristics means which kind of gametes they can produce. There can be two kinds of gametes. If the plant is producing both male and female gametes, or the plant can be only male where the male flowers are produced, or the plant can be only female where the female flowers are produced. So this is not acceptable. So against this artificial system of classification, a new system of classification was developed that is called as natural classification systems. Here, we have to consider the characteristics which are similar among the plants. So this natural system is based on many characteristics. So here you will get an idea that how artificial system, mechanical system, natural system, and the number 4th is phylogenetic system. They are giving us a clear idea that why phylogenetic system is superior than others, because we will come to know about the basic characteristics that how do they possess similar characteristics because their ancestors were similar. So this is a simple mind map. So today, because we are going to study only algae, so this table is already given in your book. So here again the same things are talked about, that we do not have to only take up the external features, but we have to characterize the internal ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology. Embryology means the study of the kind of embryos are produced in the plants, and the last is phytochemistry. Phytochemistry means a different kind of biomolecules which are produced in the plants. That can be carbohydrates, proteins, and different kind of minerals and nutrients which are transporting in the plants. Next is this kind of classification for flowering plants. So we must know the flowering plants are the angiosperms. So this kind of classification is given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. So now at a time, which system of classification is acceptable? That is called as phylogenetic classification systems, where we generally talk about evolutionary relationships. So this assumes that organisms which belong to same taxa, they have a common ancestor. So now you have to remember that in class 10th, you have studied the chapter Heredity and Evolution, and there was one topic about evolution of plants, that the different kind of vegetables which have evolved from wild cabbage, that is either cauliflower, broccoli, kale, and the now cabbage which we are using, all of them are evolved from the wild cabbage. That means with the domestication of farming, the farmers in the agriculture form, they have developed new varieties of wild cabbage, and now you can see red cabbage is available, green cabbage is available, broccoli is available, kale is available, cauliflower is there, which have the same common ancestor, that is wild cabbage. So this is called as phylogenetic classification system, where we have to consider more upon the basic evidences that their ancestors were same and they have evolved from the same kind of plants. It is divided, it is having a basic categorization into numerical taxonomy, that we can take up the observable characters. Simply if I say monocots and dicots. Monocots, they have parallel venation in the leaves. Monocots, they could have fibrous root system. Dicots, they have reticulate venation of leaves, and they have tap root system. This you have studied in class 6th, right? So these kind of observable characters, just looking upon the structure of the leaf, you can see the veins, they are going parallel, then we call it as parallel venation. And if the veins, they are forming a network, that is called as a reticulate venation. So this will give us a clear idea by just looking upon the plant, that characteristics are called as morphological features. But when we dissect the plant, dissect means we cut the plant, and inside structures are studied under microscope. That structures are called as anatomical structures. Then we come to two kinds of taxonomies. One is cytotaxonomy and second is chemotaxonomy. Cytotaxonomy is based upon the simple cell information. Cytological means, I am repeating it, cytological means cell information. Like how many chromosomes are there. Chromosomes can be 24, chromosomes can be 36. Then structure. Chromosome structure can vary from plant to plant. And their behavior. Here behavior means which kind of chromosomes will pass on from one generation to another. Second is chemotaxonomy. Chemo as word is giving us a direct idea that we are talking about chemicals. So chemical taxonomy means a different kind of chemicals, biomolecules which are found in the plants, which are very important to study the chemistry of the plant. That study is called as biochemistry. So in this general introduction of the chapter number 3, Plant Kingdom, we have talked about the differences of Linnaeus and Whitaker classification. Then we have talked about the 5 divisions of kingdom Plantae, like Thallophyta, also known as algae, Bryophyta, Pteridophyta, Gymnosperms and Angiosperms. Then we have talked about why cyanobacteria, they are not kept under algae division. Then is the important point, what is natural system of classification and what is artificial system of classification. In the next video, we are going to start with all the divisions. Number 1 will be algae and so on. So, thank you students.